We're back on the sweet spot. Now, usually here we talk about the culture that we consume. But there's also, I think, it's worth talking about the culture that we make. You know, the whole idea of popular culture in earlier centuries was stuff that people did. I'm curious, I mean, you strike me as an artistically refined and creative spirit. What are your creative hobbies?
You may not know this about me, Tony.
Yes.
I'm actually an inventor.
Really?
I've got this little Kickstarter thing called the Skull Speaker.
That is true do-it-yourself expressive.
I know, and just the
art.
idea that I'd take something that was bad for you, which is sticking things up your nose, and turn it into something
and turn
good.
it into something that's beautiful and moving and expressive.
I'm expecting big knockbacks from Silicon Valley sometime soon.
Yeah, if you could monetize it, but then see, it wouldn't be the same. You wouldn't be an amateur anymore. Amateur means you do it for love, right? Not for fame or money or any kind of glory. I mean,
Like people would be surprised to learn.
well, you know,
That
I've
your way around a six string.
like many of my friends, my fellow sort of frustrated rock star Brooklyn dads, you know, now play in bands.
Brooklyn is the epicenter of that,
of
right?
the dad bands, of the dad rock movement. I am a solo
How
act.
embarrassing.
I'm a solo act, which means I am all alone in my room when it happens. The door is closed, and I pull out the guitar and I do a little picking, a little singing. All of my inner good old boy comes out in the privacy of my own bedroom. But I think that we're not alone.
Wow.
I think that even as like there's this kind of juggernaut of mass culture that just puts all of these stories and songs and all of this great stuff in front of us, there's still that urge to do it yourself. And I would bet that right here in this building, there are painters and sculptors and poets. I'm going to look for them. I'm going to find them. I'm going to find the hidden artistic soul of the New York Times.
This is examples of Swedish weaving. You take yarn and you weave it through, and it's all very mathematical.
And how long did this take you?
A while.
Last summer, I went to basically an orchestra camp for a week with the Baltimore Symphony, and wrote about what it was like to rehearse with them and perform with them. And the story came out okay, I think, but I also got some great tips on my playing.
I wanted to see what it would be like to do a low-tech album. This is track 5, the slow hot fireside dance. I just get a big kick out of it, and so does my wife. So she puts up with it.
Well, I sing jazz many nights a week. I go out to jam sessions. I book a gig once in a while.
In addition to writing and mostly editing obituaries, which is my job, I do stand-up comedy.
This work is basically creating special experiences around birthdays and cookies. Find a nice image, turn it into a grayscale, black and white, use some Photoshop magic and create a stencil of his face, and start cutting out the face and the shadows, and then put it onto a cookie, sprinkle on some sprinkles, and then put it into the oven and bake it. So it's always that moment of delight is basically what Eat Your Face is all about.
I'm a classically trained flutist, but mostly now I play jazz. I think I was born interested in music. I've just always loved to sing and to play.
This is a collection of little accessories that I've made, that I sewed.
Now you're also, I understand, wearing some of your own work?
Yeah, I decided to branch out of little accessories into garments. So I just made this dress last month.
Wow. There's such an independent comics explosion going on. I kept looking at some of the cool stuff just in everyday life. Once I got that idea, I thought, okay, here I go, and that's kind of what I'm doing. There's drawing and there's writing, but that somehow that works together, and I can think that way, so I like it.
I used to teach Indian classical dance. I'm an Indian classical dancer, have been for almost 2 decades. There are 7 different types, and so I specialize in 3. I studied subject 3 extensively.
Mainly I do like tattoo designs for people. I'm just sketching different styles that I experiment with.
How long have you been doing this?
All my life. There's a story that goes around in my family that I've been drawing since before I was born. I'm not before I was born, before I can even speak.
You picked up a...
Yeah, so before I was even writing letters and speaking, I was drawing. They said it's therapeutic, to say the least. Yeah, especially when I'm stressed out. So it helps out a lot.
I have the piano that I grew up with, so when my parents retired, they sent it to me, and I use it to play jazz standards on. Last year, I learned how to play Lush Life, which is great.
Wow.
Yeah. Sort of drunken and boozy and regretful. I love it.
Yeah. There's something about found art made by people you know, where the gesture of it is heartfelt. Could be a hat that goes on crooked. Could be a birdhouse that doesn't fit together exactly well.
Yes. So we know that we're not the only artists here. We know that out there's a huge well of creativity. And what we would like you to do is tell us about your creative pursuits, your amateur creative pursuits, and if you would like, share them with us. Let's curate a whole gallery, a whole multimedia artistic installation.